Hello everyone, welcome to our Graceful Faith channel. Here we delve into mysteries, explore unknown facts, and discuss deep subjects from the Bible to enrich our spiritual journey. Today we're going to explore the intriguing story of Ogue, the Bible's greatest giant. Ogue is an imposing and often forgotten figure whose story is full of valuable teachings. By unraveling his story, we will discover not only fascinating events, but also profound spiritual lessons that can be applied to our daily lives. Stay with us and embark on this journey of biblical discoveries and transformative reflections. The story of Og the giant is one of the most fascinating and impressive in the Bible. It begins in Deuteronomy 3:11. For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the giants. Behold, his bed was iron. Is it not in Rabbah of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits its length, and 4 cubits its breadth, by the common cubit. Og was the king of Bashan, a fertile and prosperous territory, known for its vast lands and riches. To better understand the figure of Og, we need to explore the origin of the giants in the Bible, especially the Nephilim. The first mention of giants occurs in Genesis 6:1-4. And it came to pass, as men began to multiply upon the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took them wives of all whom they chose. The Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he also is flesh, but his days shall be 120 years. In those days the Nephilim were on the earth, and also afterward, when the sons of God possessed the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men of old, the men of renown. The Nephilim, mentioned in Genesis, were powerful beings of great stature, the result of the union between the sons of God and the daughters of men. There are various interpretations of the identity of the sons of God, ranging from fallen angels, descendants of Seth, or nobles of the time. Regardless of the interpretation, these giants became figures of great power and violence, who caused fear among men. The figure of Og, therefore, can be seen as a remnant of this age of giants. His presence and the size described in the Bible symbolize the seemingly insurmountable challenges and obstacles we encounter on our spiritual journey. Its colossal size, described as a giant, symbolizes the fears and difficulties that seem impossible to overcome. Despite his imposing size and the aura of invincibility that surrounded him, Og was defeated by the people of Israel, led by Moses. This event is recounted in Deuteronomy 3:6. So the Lord our God also delivered Og, king of Bashan, and all his people into our hands, and we struck him down until there was not a man left alive. At that time we took all his cities. There was not a city that we did not take from them. 60 cities, the whole region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these cities were fortified with high walls, gates and bars, and many cities without walls. This victory was a testimony to the power of God and the unshakable faith of the Israelite people. In Deuteronomy 3:22, Moses exhorts the people, Do not fear them, for the Lord your God fights for you. Let's reflect on this. How often do we face giants in our lives? It could be a financial difficulty, a health problem, a family conflict, or even a spiritual crisis. These giants seem invincible, but Ogue's story reminds us that with faith and trust in God, we can overcome any obstacle. Imagine yourself facing a difficulty at work. The pressure and expectations can be overwhelming, making you feel like you're up against a giant. In this scenario, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and discouraged. However, just as the Israelites trusted God to defeat Og, we can also trust him to give us the strength and wisdom to face our challenges. Consider a common situation. You are dealing with an important project, with tight deadlines and great responsibilities. The expectations of your superiors are high, and the pressure seems to increase every day. This feeling of being faced with a giant can be paralyzing. However, remember that God is by your side, ready to help. In times of anguish, prayer is a powerful tool for finding peace and strength. By taking the time to talk to God, you can open your heart, express your concerns, and seek His guidance. Prayer allows you to release your anxieties and trust that God is in control, even when circumstances seem insurmountable. In addition to prayer, trust in God is essential. By putting your trust in Him, you allow His strength to work in your life. This doesn't mean that all problems will instantly disappear, but that you will have the certainty that you are not facing these challenges alone. Divine wisdom can offer new perspectives and creative solutions that you might not have considered on your own. For example, at a time of great pressure at work, you can pray for guidance and calm. With a calm mind and a confident heart, you can approach the problem with a fresh perspective, perhaps finding an innovative solution or a more efficient way of completing the task. This trust in God can also strengthen your relationships in the workplace, as you will radiate peace and confidence, positively influencing your colleagues and superiors. So, when facing your own giants, remember to follow the example of the Israelites. Trust in God to give you the strength and wisdom you need. In moments of greatest pressure and challenge, turn to prayer and trust that God is by your side, ready to help you overcome any obstacle. With this faith, you can face any difficulty with courage and determination, knowing that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Ogue represents the obstacles that test our faith. But just as God was with the Israelites, He is with us in our daily battles. Ogue's story reminds us that we are not alone, regardless of the challenges we face. These giants can manifest themselves in various ways in our lives, whether it's a financial problem, an illness, a family conflict, or a spiritual crisis. In Philippians 4:13, we find the strength we need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This passage is a powerful reminder that our strength comes from God. No matter how big or daunting our problems are, with God's help, we can overcome them. Faith is the key to overcoming these challenges. By trusting in God, we allow His strength and wisdom to guide and sustain us. The story of Og also teaches us about the importance of perseverance. The Israelites faced a giant and fortified cities, but they didn't give up. They trusted in God and followed His lead. This unwavering trust led them to victory. In the same way, in our lives, we must keep our faith and keep following the path that God shows us, even when it seems difficult or impossible. Furthermore, this narrative reminds us of God's constant presence in our lives. He doesn't abandon us in the midst of difficulties. Instead, He fights our battles alongside us, gives us strength, and helps us overcome challenges. When we feel overwhelmed, we can turn to Him in prayer, seek His guidance, and trust that He will help us find a solution. So, as we face our own giants, let us remember Ogue's story. May we have the same faith and trust that the Israelites had, knowing that God is with us, ready to strengthen and guide us. In every challenge, there is an opportunity to grow spiritually and to witness God's power and mercy in our lives. Let's always remember Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. With God by our side, there is no obstacle too great for us to overcome. Furthermore, the story of Og teaches us the importance of not underestimating God's power. The people of Israel, faced with a giant and fortified cities, could have succumbed to fear and hopelessness. However, they chose to trust in God and follow His guidance. This unwavering faith resulted in a complete and overwhelming victory over their enemies. In our daily lives, we often come across many giants. These can take the form of a demanding boss, financial problems, illness, or personal conflicts. These challenges can seem unutterable, leaving us discouraged and hopeless. However, Ogue's story encourages us not to lose hope and to keep our faith in God, for He is greater than any problem we may face. Consider the example of a demanding boss who seems impossible to please. The pressure to meet deadlines and expectations can become overwhelming. In these situations, it is essential to remember that God is with us. We can seek His guidance through prayer, asking for patience, wisdom, and strength to deal with the demands of the job. Trusting in God gives us the courage to face this giant with a fresh perspective, knowing that He is by our side. Financial problems are another kind of giant that many of us face. Bills pile up, debts increase, and anxiety grows. However, God promises us in Philippians 4:19, "And my God, according to His riches in glory, will supply all your needs in Christ Jesus." By trusting in God and seeking His provision, we can find solutions and opportunities that we didn't see before. Faith enables us to make wise decisions and seek help when needed, knowing that God is looking after us. Illness and personal conflicts are also giants that can shake our faith. Illness can bring fear and uncertainty, while personal conflicts can cause pain and division. In both cases, Ogue's story reminds us that God is powerful and present in our lives. He gives us the strength to face illness with courage and the wisdom to resolve conflicts with love and understanding. In moments of weakness, we can find comfort in the words of Isaiah 41:10. "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you and uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness." And seeking His guidance, we can face any giant in our lives. God is bigger than any problem we may encounter, and with Him by our side, there is no obstacle we cannot overcome. Ogue's story is a powerful reminder of God's strength and power. It is a story of faith, courage, and unwavering trust. As we face our own giants, we can be inspired by the faith of the Israelites and the promise that God is always with us, fighting our battles and guiding us to victory. Remember the words of Moses, "Do not fear them, for the Lord your God fights for you." May we, like the Israelites, face our giants with faith and trust in God, knowing that He is on our side.